Watching this whole thing on Hazardous History with Henry Winkler. And I'm on season 1, episode 6 on food fiascos. At 9 minutes in, I'm learning about swill milk. And you're not going to believe how disgusting and barbaric this is. So, about the 1900s, basically, here's how barbaric this is, right? So, in the beginning, you're thinking, at first, you're like, okay, this isn't that bad. It's pretty progressive. Sounds pretty, pretty liberal that you're taking, like, something this green and taking the grain of basically the waste of what you can't use for whiskey. So you're like, okay, let's take the grain, the wheat, all the stuff that they can't use, the swill, and use that for the cows. So you're like thinking, okay, well, let's use that for the cows because we don't want to waste it. So they do, right? So then they do, but then here's a problem. The cows start eating it, and then when they start eating it, it turns the milk into a substance of a runny blue liquid. Okay? And then when it becomes a runny blue liquid, then they call it swill milk. But here's where it gets a little crazier. Then what they decide to do, these inventors decide to take that milk and go, well, we need to make it look like actual milk so babies will drink it. You're not going to believe the disgusting things that they do to this milk. So, yeah, you won't believe this. You thought raw milk was gross of RFK Jr.? This is a whole new level. So, yeah, strap in. They took flour, which you're thinking, okay, well, that's not too bad. Raw eggs. Okay, then you're thinking, what, are they baking a cake? Gets even grosser. Cow brains. I'm not making this shit up. This is part of our history, people. Cow brains. That's fucking disgusting. Cow brains. They would mix that up and fed that to infants. Hey, RFK Jr., drink up, motherfucker. You're the one who likes all this fucking healthy shit. Oh, we gotta drink raw milk. It gives us nutrients, no vaccines. We have all these things that cause autism. Drink that fucking swill milk, motherfucker, you ableist bitch. Fuck RFK Jr. Oh my God. I just learned this today and I'm like, seriously, you drink that. You grilled fried chicken looking motherfucker. Seriously, you try it, RFK Jr. Seriously, you try it. You ableist asshole. Oh my God, I hate RFK Jr. And if you're wondering why I got this weird light on my face, I accidentally, well, it's not an accident. I got mad, okay? And I threw my phone at my desk, so now I got this fucking half of my screen. If you're wondering why I haven't been on TikTok or anything lately, half of my screen has like dead bars on it, and the other half has this big white bar. So that's why I've got this big light on my face. So if you're thinking, oh, why does this guy have a fucking light on his face? No, it's because half of my screen has a light. You want to know, like, you want to see? Here, I'll show you. Hang on. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, look at this shit. Look at this shit. I mean, is that even normal? I mean, that's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. So fuck RFK Jr. Our history is disturbing. I'm watching this whole thing of Henry Winkler, and oh my God, the whole our history is so dark. It's why libertarians would probably watch this and be like, well, so we don't need regulations. We don't need the government telling us what to do. No, that's why we need regulations, dumbasses. Because without regulations and because without the government intervene, this is why all this shit was happening in the first place. We had no government oversight back then. We had cars, we had Model Ts in the 1907 driving 16 miles an hour, crashing into people's houses, crashing into people, killing people on the streets. That's why it wasn't until the 1950s until we had people actually getting licenses. Not until the 1950s. I mean, look at how back then in the 1800s or like in the late 1800s, how basically in Madison Square Garden, you had up to 12,000 deaths of people and like all these like dead carcasses of horses because you had typhoid fever, you had huge rampant because you had flies going into crap of manure and it was infecting people because the streets of were like tens of thousands of pounds of manure was flooding the streets of Manhattan, flooding the streets of New York and Great Britain and all these places of France and everywhere, right? Because there was no way of doing anything. There was no regulation back then. And the problem was you had tons of deaths because it was disgusting. You had literal diseases spreading everywhere because of typhoid fever. So the problem is when you have tons of horses just shitting every time, and then you've got all these not transportation, so the car, the automobile came into play. That was a huge game changer. It created less havoc and less deaths because you had horses and people and crap all over in the streets. You had to have special people come out just to clean up the streets. That's how gross it was. So, yeah, our history came a long way, man. You had the Hindenburg or whatever that Led Zeppelin crashed and killed like 100 people. You had the steamboat that killed over 100 people, and it was over a mile long of an explosion. It went from like the Mississippi River, went from both ends of two states. I mean, that I've been to the Mississippi. It's freaking nuts. I mean, our history is nuts. I mean, they basically invented different ways of transportation because they realized how dangerous and how crazy it's been. So, yeah, that's our nation's history, people. Oh, and fuck RFK Jr.